Hey, what is going on, guys? My name is Tom Spark, back with another VPN review. Today we're checking out none other than Cyberghost. Now, Cyberghost is yet another VPN owned by Cape, a VPN company that everybody loves now. It is one of the original VPN companies owned by Cape, and today we're going to be checking it out to see how it can hold up to the paces to the rest of the VPNs here on the channel. Now, as you guys know, this VPN channel here is not owned by a VPN, so you can actually trust this VPN review is legitimate. Bing! So first up, what we're going to be looking at is stuff like this, a countdown clock timer that is going on all the time. So, ding for there. They don't get any points for not having a countdown clock timer. Let's go ahead and look at the pricing. And what we don't want to see is expensive pricing at each point of the line. $13, it's as expensive as you could get. We'd like to see between $6 to $10 for 1 month. The 2-year plan is $60, and at least Cape is being transparent about it in that it is $60 a year after that. Some other companies hide that information until you're actually paying for the product, which is definitely deceptive. So at least they're honest about it there, and that's not a bad deal. $60 per year isn't bad. And $60 for 2 years is actually pretty good. We do like a 6-month plan option. However, it's more around $20 area, and $40 for 6 months is quite expensive. The good news is we do see some kind of extra complimentary privacy services, so that will be giving them some points later on. However, we only have 7 simultaneous device use and not 8. So that is something we would like to see improved up to 8, especially for this price point. So overall, Cape or Cyberghost has some things okay, but most of the things that we're looking for aren't really there. It's just simply too expensive, and they use a lot of marketing tricks. Now, if we take a look at Cyberghost Application, it's honestly a decent application. It's kind of interesting because it kind of has like this see-through element of being able to see the background, which is kind of nice. You can find customization elements in the Cyberghost VPN tab, and then when you go back here, there's also a little bit more settings to mute. It does have some of the most important things like having WireGuard and kill switches and stuff like that, and I do think the application looks decent enough with kind of cool animations once you connect. It also has some things that we're looking for, like ad blocking features, which you can find in the privacy settings right about here. I also like that it has some rules and different ways to launch applications and stuff. It's also very user-friendly and easy to use with tons of tutorials and kind of easy ways to start up the application to show you how to use it. It is missing some other things though. I couldn't really find an advanced split tunneling feature within the client. I didn't see any obfuscation options, which is a little bit odd. It does have a Linux CLI, but not a GUI. And I couldn't find any DNS controls for customizing the DNS, any port forwarding options for those that like to see torrents, or any SOCKS5 proxy support for those who like using SOCKS5 proxies for torrents. That said, it does have dedicated IPs, which is nice for those who want them, Fire Stick support, and it has browser extension support, which is also pretty cool. Overall, it does pretty good in compatibility, but misses the mark in a couple areas, and it misses some things in the advanced sections as well. So overall, not a bad application and good design, but definitely not the best one out there compared to something like private internet access. Now we're going to be testing it out with streaming, seeing how it works. As always, remember to check for live speed tests on videos. And websites, it's harder to trust with just pictures and graphs of speed tests. So that's why we always do a live speed test here on the channel. And we are getting pretty good speeds with Cyberghost. Unfortunately, I wasn't able to get good performance while streaming with some of the streaming servers, so that was definitely a bummer. But it looks like for performance here, we're getting exactly what we would expect from a VPN that supports WireGuard with pretty good server capacity for its users. Now we are seeing what kind of speeds we can get with Cyberghost while torrenting to be around 60 to 80. In that range was where we would got in megabits per second, around 700 megabits per second. Now we're getting that megabytes per second. So pretty good speeds here, no complaints at all. Definitely solid. So guys, what about Cape's kind of reputation and Cyberghost therefore? Well, not too good. Definitely one of the most infamous companies now in the VPN space, along stuff like J2 Global. Cape has scooped up tons of VPNs. It owns Cyberghost, Private Internet Access, ExpressVPN, and probably other ones I'm missing because they're too small. Stuff like ZenMate VPN. Not only that though, they are also buying VPN review sites themselves. Cape has purchased VPN Mentor, which was a long-time NordVPN shill, and now they're shilling Cyberghost and ExpressVPN. So no surprise there that they kind of changed that ranking system to support the new company that owns them. Not only that, but Cape has even acquired companies And reviewers like that one privacy guy who now has a website that just redirects to safety detectives. Now, this guy was on Reddit. Everyone said he was like the second coming of VPN Jesus, and they were just, he's so honest and everything like that. And then if you go to his website now, it just redirects to this website owned by Cape. He obviously sold out to Cape, maybe works for them. Not really sure what's going on there. And if you look on this website as well, another website owned by Cape and similar to Cyberghost, or the parent company of Cyberghost. And look here, ExpressVPN once again, and private internet access. So all these review sites and everything like that is definitely a bit questionable. There are clear disclosures, like right here. But that said, I don't think most users will see that. I don't think most users will see that there are these disclosures, even though I do like that they do provide them. There are certainly a number of VPNs out there that I know own VPN review sites and have shell companies set up so they don't have to disclose ownership, which is even more shady. So I think that is definitely worse. However, this certainly isn't good either. Owning VPN review sites isn't something a company that owns VPNs should ever do. It definitely makes it hard as a consumer to know what reviews are trustworthy or not, and something this channel is never going to do. If we take a more technical look at the privacy policy and privacy stuff on the back end, we see that Cyberghost does pretty well in the blacklight for some reason. I'm not really sure why here. However, it seems that they could be using some technology to evade third-party cookie blockers, which is definitely concerning. Additionally, I was able to find in their privacy policy that they were using Google Analytics, or it says they do, so it's something to consider as well. So they're not going to pass the blacklight test. I was also able to find some Cloudflare and some other kind of trackers on the website. Additionally, if we look at their Android application, we also see Google Analytics, Google Tag Manager, Mixpanel, Apps Flyer. This is kind of like just for ads, I think. So definitely no pass here. So they don't really do well in that aspect. Additionally, if you look at their privacy policy, it seems like they do collect some minor forms of logs. So make sure to do deep dive on this if you really are thinking about getting it. Nothing probably too concerning, but still could collect a little bit less in my opinion. And the fact that they haven't really ironed out some of these issues leads me to believe that, you know, they probably are collecting more than they need. Definitely more permissions that they need as well. So overall, not too impressive here. Additionally, we can take a look at some of the other requirements. And we have seen that company acquisition. They do have complimentary privacy services, which is good. A decent amount of options they provide. And we haven't seen really any mismanaged data leak or data scare with this company yet. So that, I guess, is good, but who really knows? Overall, nothing really that impressive here. Additionally, I couldn't find two-factor authentication options on their website either for the account, just to make sure your account is secure and doesn't leak out to anyone else. So that's definitely kind of a bummer as well. So as you can see here, Cyberghost, well, it doesn't work for Netflix. I looked up the green zone and we're not seeing it here. For some reason, it did work with Hulu though, which is nice. And Amazon, I'm trying to get it to work with, but it's just so slow. This is definitely a slow service here that we're using with Cyberghost. It like barely works with the things Hulu seemed to work with best. Netflix even took a while to load and it still didn't work there. And now we're kind of having issues with the Prime Video. So overall, also checking HBO Now didn't work, and I also had issues with BBC iPlayer. So don't think this is going to be a good streaming VPN. Surprisingly, Cyberghost does have pretty good customer support. As you can see here, I did make the ticket at around 15:43, and roughly 1 hour later, just 8 minutes or so, not a big discrepancy there. You know, I'm not going to cut it for 10 points because it was 8 minutes off. Usually I'm cutting it between its multiple hours. So I am going to give them points here for pretty good customer support. Processing that refund for me, so I don't have to waste 13 bucks. I haven't really gotten the refund yet, and it's been a couple hours later, but they did respond, and I'm probably going to be getting it shortly. So pretty good customer support overall. Pretty good for a pretty big company as well. Most of the other big companies have slower ticket response times. So overall, guys, here is the final scoring for Cyberghost. We saw pricing didn't do too well there. They do need a lot of improvements to just being more affordable. Application was good in some respects, but missing out on a lot of extra things like the Linux GUI, DNS controls, port forwarding, stuff like SOCKS by proxy, obfuscation. Speeds are actually really good, and we did see good customer support as well. However, it also fell short with streaming, not working really well with Netflix. Some of the privacy stuff is concerning, owning VPN review websites, being associated with a company that people don't like, and some of that stuff, acquiring different companies, been acquired by companies as well. So yeah, those are some of the things to consider when choosing Cyberghost. It's a decent VPN for a use case, but not that respected or kind of held up to high standards in the privacy community. A lot of people don't like it. They kind of see it as just one of those corporate VPNs, and that's kind of unfortunate for Cyberghost. It can do some things well, but overall, not really something I recommend long term. That's just my thoughts though here on the channel. If you guys are curious to see what VPNs I recommend, go ahead and check out the tier list. Click on 2.0. These are the latest reviews, the newest rating system that this Cyberghost was just put through. We have some recommended privacy tools on the website. We have a subreddit link, Twitter link, as well as the old tier list as well, which is still a very good resource. We even have a VPN quiz, which helps you choose from the top 2 VPNs rated here on the channel if you can't decide. Anyways, guys, thanks for checking into this honest, unbiased Cyberghost review, and I'll see you in the next one very soon.